Guys, I have a huge race coming up. I'm about to start my final long run 1 week out. I'm gonna walk you guys through full taper, recovery process, and my final speed workout before this race.
What's your goal for this race?
So I'm running the International Half Marathon in Austin. This is actually my only second half marathon I've ever ran. So my stretch goal is sub 120, which is 80 minutes. Previously, I've ran a 124. So yeah, like this is gonna be a challenge, I think. I think a lot through training. Workouts have been tough, but we're gonna full send it in 1 week. Final long run, complete 8 miles, a little under 8 miles, which is funny because in marathon prep, this is not really a long run. This would be an everyday run. First half, 3.75, easy pace. Back half, 3.75 miles, roughly 6:50 to 7-minute pace. So a little quicker. It's still not at like the half marathon pace, but just something to just kind of get the legs turning a little bit. We're 1 week out, so I feel good. This is gonna be probably one of the bigger challenges I've had, especially in a half marathon, just because running at a 6:05 pace is like, I can do it, but doing that for 13 miles is gonna be a challenge, which I'm looking forward to. This is like a full tapered week. And for me, what that typically looks like is like reducing my running volume and increasing a lot of my nutrition and carbohydrate intake, making sure I'm staying on top of electrolytes. And I'll still like go to the gym, which is an interesting thing. Like I'm gonna go to the gym today and just kind of go through some mobility and then also light strength movements. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have a speed workout, which will be the final like aggressive workout before the actual race, which I think is a really important component for a lot of new runners. Is like, you wanna make sure that you're still like getting an aggressive run in. A lot of people would say like, isn't that gonna like fatigue you? But you also wanna make sure that your like muscles are firing and that they're ready to go run at a fast pace. So tomorrow I'll bring you guys along on a speed workout, and that'll be like the last aggressive day. But today is a nice recovery day, which is also gonna be lovely. We'll do some contrast therapy too. A lot of this gym movement right now, especially in the warm-up, is just like mobility. Like I'm trying to get into end ranges as best as possible, and that's kind of like how I typically go through a warm-up, is like some banded hamstrings work, some flossing, some like just like lower back loosening, and then it's just kind of like getting into the workout itself. But this would be like a mix of what I would do on a taper, but also in a gym routine normally. That's a wrap of the workout session. A little mix of full body, a lot of mobility to start up the workout, and then just kind of getting into different movements, some strength, upper and lower, and just kind of getting as much blood flow into the system. Tomorrow, I'm gonna do a speed workout, so I just wanna make sure I'm still fresh for that. But yeah, like we're going through a proper taper here. I'm gonna bring you guys next. We're gonna get some food in, but then I'm also gonna bring you guys on some contrast therapy, which is another massive recovery tool I use to make sure I'm staying fresh. Throughout this week, I'll eat a little bit more carbs, but probably like 3 days out, I'll just add in like another handful of carbs, whether it's from rice, spaghetti, veggies. You don't have to eat like a crap ton of carbs a week out. Like, just slowly add more into it. That's a proper crunch. I eat a lot of sourdough. Next up is one of my favorite things I get to do. It's contrast therapy. And I've found after doing more of this that I enjoy the actual, like, some of the physical, you know, adaptations that happen or the benefits that happen from a recovery standpoint, but also I think like the peace of mind that I get from doing this. Like, I've never done sauna cold plunge and been like, oh, I can't, I wish I didn't do that. Like, I wish I didn't spend 30 to 50 minutes doing this routine. And I think that there's something powerful about that. It's like, if there's things in your life that like you can actually do that not only help from like a recovery performance standpoint, but also just like a mental, psychological standpoint, like it's such a good thing. And I love having friends to come over to my place and like do this with me, where it's like, it's also another good way to like get connected with other people. And you bring people into your like plunge, into your recovery like center. And it's also a good way to just catch up with old friends. So this is now my next tool in my taper week of training. We're gonna get hot and cold. I typically do like 2 or 3 rounds, 20 minutes in the sauna, 1 to 2 minutes in the plunge.
What's on the agenda today, brother?
All right, so this is our final speed workout before the Austin International Half. So 1.5 mile warm up. We're gonna do 2 miles at race pace. So we're gonna try to hold anywhere from 5:55 to 6:10 pace. Ideally, I'm gonna start at like 6:10 and then work my way down. So it's 2 miles tempo. So we'll go 8 laps in a row, and then we'll have a half mile cool down. And this is like the final like big effort before running on Sunday. So today's Tuesday, so we have still like 5 days. But this is just also a good reminder that like when you guys are doing any marathon or half marathon prep, like you should still have one day prior to the race that same week where you're going pretty fast, just so your body is somewhat acclimated to that speed. So that's what we're gonna do today. And we're actually here with Good Pain, so we'll ask some people. These guys are here. They got a big crew. We'll just ask some people what they typically do on their taper weekend. That's about it.
Amazing.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think most people should do a speed workout like the week of their race. All right, we just got done with the track here with Good Pain, and we have 2 of the homies there. And they're gonna give us a little feedback on how they typically taper for endurance races, challenges. We have high rocks, ultra marathoners, like a little bit of everything here.
Yeah, we do all of those.
Tell them what you do.
My name is Mason, so I'll go first because I don't know if mine's the most sound advice, but I normally do like a 1 week taper. I'm not too good about tapering because I know my body can recover pretty quick in like 3 to 4 days off of pretty high intensity. So I'll do a shorter taper because I still want to try to get some work in that weekend before whatever my race date is. So I do typically like a 7-day taper, maybe a 6-day, and then good active movement that week of.
Fair.
Volume goes down, of course, but like I'm trying to get one more big session in that week before.
How do you think about nutrition? Like, are you doing any specific carb loading prior? Or like,
Food is fuel. I am a garbage disposal. I will eat calories. Like calories, calories, calories. Food is fuel.
Jeremy, how about you, man?
He likes the aggressive short taper. I like the longer, more gradual taper. So I usually do like 14 days out from the race. I'll start tapering down, still having that intensity, some speed work, but just a little bit more gradual instead of short and aggressive. So I think the biggest thing to remember during a taper is like, don't change anything. You've done all your training, you've practiced everything in your training, hopefully. Now, just because your race is coming up doesn't mean you should do a whole bunch of stuff differently. Try and maintain your normal routine, wake up at the same time, eat the same foods, that kind of stuff. Just keep your routine the same, and I think it'll help you crush the race better than like trying to do all this new stuff just because it's race week.
Boom, that's it. I mean, these are like, 3 different athletes that are training for different things. So like, I think ultimately the taper is also individual. So like what works for one athlete is not gonna always work for someone else. So that is the video for this one. We're gonna be racing Austin International Half in 5 days, and you guys will see that next. Sub 120 is the goal.
Let's get it!
Sub 120?
Sub 120? It's gonna happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Look, I got some good fucking
It's gonna
cheerleaders, man.
happen!
Let's go. Thanks, boys.